Hey, what's up guys? Biboy here of Tech, and here are the new Galaxy flagship devices, the new S23 and the S23 Plus. So the first thing I noticed here is they removed the metal housing that we saw in the Galaxy S22 series, which I think some people actually liked it, so I'm not sure how people will react on this, since it's now more basic. So yeah, this year it's gone. They now called it a unified floating camera. Yep, those cameras at the back are the same protruding flat camera design that we saw first in the Galaxy S22 Ultra. But if you look closely, it's still a Galaxy S22, but without the metal housing. It still has the same position for the camera and LED light. But what I noticed is that the antenna bands are now on the same sides, which in the previous generation, the Galaxy S22, it was just on the right side of the camera. This year, from the outside, they opted out to unify the design from the base model S23 up to the Galaxy S23 Ultra. By the way, the S23 Ultra video is also now up in our channel, which I'll just link it down below for you to watch in a bit. In terms of the build, both front and back uses a recycled glass, but are protected with the next generation of Corning Gorilla Glass. While the frame is made out of a metal plus armored aluminum, the volume and power button is using a recycled plastic with metal bonding resin. Nothing much has changed in terms of the overall feel. It still has some heft to it, corners are still rounded and has that satin or matte texture at the back, and still has IP68. Well, personally, I am a fan of small phones, and I may go with the base model S23 because of its form factor. Because as you can see, it's just slightly larger than the iPhone Mini 13. Which I think the same size as the iPhone 13. Now, the positions of the buttons are still the same. Right side for the volume and power button, and at the bottom are the speakers, ports, and SIM tray. Even the in-display fingerprint sensor, it's still in the same position. While in front, it still has the center cut camera. Display is snappy and responsive. Although in the limited time tinkering the device, I noticed that the Galaxy S23 base model and S23 Plus still has no settings to change the resolution like what we see in the Ultra. Although there is a choice to switch to adaptive, which is a variable refresh rate feature, and standard settings to lower the screen refresh rate down to 60. Well, if you want to save some battery. Although we still have to confirm this once we have the device in our studio. So both the Galaxy S23 and the S23 Plus had a minor design change and a slight spec bump from the previous S22 series. In the Philippines, it will be using the new Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. But we'll still have the same 8GB of RAM and then the 3 storage config. The 128GB storage, 256GB, and 512GB. By the way, if you plan to purchase this during the pre-order duration, you can avail the free storage upgrade. I'll just link it down below for the full details. Basically, it's applicable with the following variants: the 128GB S23 base model and the S23 Plus 256GB. While the battery also has a slight increase of additional 200 mAh on both models, the base S23 now has a 3,900 mAh battery capacity, while the S23 Plus has a higher 4,700 mAh. We'll see if the slight battery increase will have a huge impact with its overall day-to-day usage, since its software department by default now run on Android 13 on top of the One UI 5.1. Probably you've seen some of the new features from the Galaxy Fold series, but now it landed on these devices. One notable feature I actually love is you can customize your home screen to have your own video playing in the background, like what you see now, plus a more flexible customization for the home screen widget. Also, some nifty features like you can create a sticker from any pictures that you have, and then a GIF meme maker, and more custom emoji. For sure, our Gen Z friends out there watching will love this. But we'll have to deep dive more into all of these features in our full review. And I'm really excited to check the camera, even though it's still using the same triple camera modules from the previous generation. Well, that's a 50MP main, 12MP ultra-wide, and a 10MP face detection, plus the 12MP front camera as well. It still can shoot 8K though, but I also noticed that the zoom capability will not be available if you shoot in this resolution. Now for the rundown of the specs, Galaxy S23 will have a 6.1-inch Full HD Plus dynamic AMOLED display, while the Galaxy S23 Plus has a higher 6.6-inch display with the same feature. Then it has a 25 watts fast charging for the S23 base model, while the Plus will have a higher 45 watts fast charging. Also, 4 colorways will be available: the Phantom Black, Cream, Green, and Lavender. Personally, I love the green color, and they even have more cases to choose with for both the Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus. Anyway, so that's it for our hands-on and first impression of the new Samsung Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus. So, what do you think about the new devices? Do let us know in the comment section down below. So if you like this video, hit that like button and also click that notification bell so you won't miss any of our future uploads. Also, follow us on our social media accounts like TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And visit yugatech.com for your daily dose of tech news and reviews. Once again, I'm B-Boy. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.